Okay, this is going to be constructing perpendicular bisectors. I need to create a perpendicular bisector CD that bisects and is perpendicular to this segment here, AB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to start at one of the points and I'm going to open it past the halfway point. This is very similar to midpoint. Past the halfway point, I'm going to give an arc above and below. Without changing the length of the compass, you're going to go over and put your needle over at B and do the exact same thing, arc above and arc below. If your arcs do not intersect, you need to make sure that you extend your arcs until they intersect. So, extend, extend. So I have my two intersection points here. Once I have this, I'm going to connect my two intersection points. Oops. Create my perpendicular bisector. Now, I want to label this as CD. So we have this as C, this as D. And we're going to make sure that we have a right angle. And this is going to be our perpendicular bisector. It bisects this, so that means that this is going to be congruent to this. We have our midpoint here, we can call M. And there's our perpendicular bisector. Okay, we're going to be constructing the circumcenter, and we're going to be labeling it X. So the circumcenter is going to be inside the circle, which means we have to construct perpendicular bisectors for each one of the segments of this triangle. So I'm going to start off with MN. I start off at M, and I open my compass past the halfway point. This is the entire length of N, M. Past the halfway point, just eyeball it. You're going to do an arc above, arc below. Or in this case, an arc to the left, arc to the right. When you do that, make sure again that you do not change. Once you have the consistent opening, you keep the consistent opening. So you have your arcs to the left and to the right, where above and below. You're going to connect to make your perpendicular bisector. And for each one of these, you want to make sure that you have your midpoint here. And then you can erase your excess. Okay. So the reason I erase the excess outside is because your circumcenter is going to intersect in the interior of this triangle. If you want to keep it, that's fine. It's completely up to you. But this is acute, so it's actually going to intersect inside the circle. So now that I did that, I can also erase my marks here as well. So next thing I need to do, I'm going to do it for MP. So past the halfway point, arc above, arc below. Do the exact same thing for the other side, arc above, arc below, without changing the size or the opening of the compass. Connect the two arc intersections. Create your perpendicular point here. Make sure this is perpendicular. I should have labeled this before. This is going to be perpendicular as well. For this one, just because I'm going to keep the exterior part here, but I erase the arcs. Exterior part here, I erase the arcs. And then last but certainly not least, I need to do NP, perpendicular bisector. So again, I have past the halfway point, which I am, arc above, arc below, or in this case to the left and to the right. The exact same thing to P. Okay. It's a little off. There we go. That's better. Okay. Once you have that, again, connect. You're basically doing the exact same thing 3 times. And if you do it correctly, you should end up with a intersection interior here. Now, in terms of labeling, you should label as you go, but since these are perpendicular bisectors, you want to make sure that you have a dash mark, two dash marks, two dash marks, three dash marks, three dash marks. So that indicates that it's perpendicular and it bisects the actual segment. Now that I have this point here, I have my circumcenter. Okay, next thing I'm asked to do is I'm constructing the circumscribed circle for the obtuse triangle MNP. So this triangle is obtuse, and what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find out what the circumcenter is by doing perpendicular bisectors, again, 3 times, just like we did in the previous example. So, in this case, I'm going to do NM, and I'm going to do this a little quicker, just because we've had a couple videos on this. But once you get the intersections, again, you want to connect, you make a line. This time I'm going to be a little more accurate when I do this. You want to make sure it's perpendicular. This segment constructed, and then you can erase the excess. Erase the excess, and I'm going to keep the lines as is. So, next thing you have NP, past the halfway point, arc above, arc below, so that they intersect. Connect the intersection of the arcs. Create your perpendicular sign. You have segment here, and make sure that the labeling is accurate. So you have 1 dash mark here, 2 dash marks here, and a right angle here. Erase your arcs. And last but certainly not least, you're going to do it to NP. So again, with NP, past the halfway point, arc above, arc below. Other side as well. And again, if it doesn't match up, that means you have to extend your arcs. So I have my intersection of my arcs here. There we go. That's perpendicular here. I label my segment 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, for the circumcenter, since this is an obtuse triangle, the circumcenter is going to occur outside of the circle. So you need to make sure that you extend the line so that they intersect at one point. So this is my circumcenter, and I'll label it X. Okay. In order to construct a circumscribed circle, you need to make sure you find the circumcenter, which we did, and then you're going to basically, with your compass, measure how far you are to each one of the vertices, and it should be the exact same if you did things accurately. Now I'm using a chalkboard, so it might move around a little bit. But once you have the circumcenter, take your needle from one of the vertices of the triangle, and you're going to just construct a circle around, and it should touch each one of the vertices of the triangle. This is going to go off here. Okay. You have an entire circle. If you extended this circle, it touches each one of the vertices here, here, and here. I have my labeling, my perpendicular segments or perpendicular lines, my segment congruence, segment congruence, segment congruence. So this is a circumscribed circle.